Alright, hope everybody's having a good one. Welcome to Microsoft Flight Simulator with Cookie Pirate. It's been a little while since I've done this, but I'm glad to be back in the flight sim. Looking forward to it. Today we're flying the Cirrus SR22 going from Gatlinburg, Tennessee, down to Clemson. Nope, that's supposed to be Anderson. Let me switch that real quick. Yep, Anderson, South Carolina. That's just a little bit further. The flight tracker's saying a 32-minute flight. The 50 minutes is incorrect. We're going to go at 11,000 feet. Should be, yep, 95 miles. That looks about right. What I'm seeing. Yeah. Yeah, get off the runway! Welcome, Maria. Good to see you. Alright, here we go. I don't know, I actually have to say that in this one. I know, some airports it seems to be that the vehicles are just wild all over the place, and other airports it really isn't an issue. Dale, how you doing, man? Boy, the lines are out of control because of the government shutdown. Hope the controller showed up to work today. Well, the good thing is these airports are uncontrolled. In the real world, we wouldn't actually have to talk to ATC. Alright, we're loaded in. Weather's not looking super good. It was supposed to be a bit better than it is. At least that I'm seeing right now. Let's go ahead and get set up. The first thing I want to do is just make sure my flight controller is working properly, so I'm just going to check the... Good. Mixture should... Yeah. I think it just defaults to rich. That should be at idle cutoff. And I'm going to take a real quick... park and brake. Rudder. Elevator. Ailerons. Nah, just hang on a second. Shouldn't be doing that. Don't actually need my plane pushed back, so I don't know what I just hit that triggered that. Oh, but it doesn't look like the flaps are... He's going through the plane. I don't actually need a pushback anyway, though. Alright, so let's go back into the cockpit real quick. Let's get started up here. So battery switch is on. We'll wait for that to initialize. Set the CDI to GPS. Let's get the weather real quick. Here at Gatlinburg, it is showing wind calm scattered at 1300. Alright, so the clouds are getting a little bit thinner, which is good. 2985 on the altimeter. 18 Celsius, that's about 65 Fahrenheit. So relatively mild. Gonna go ahead and turn the alternator on. Parking brake is on. Good. I wanted to make sure that was set right. Alright, we're gonna go boost pump on. It's been a little while since I've done this, so I'm probably doing a couple things out of order. Flaps should be up. Oh good, that does work. Okay. Should have checked it from in the cockpit. I couldn't see the flaps moving outside when I looked. We're good there. Boost pump is on. Cycle the throttle full forward. Back, and then we just bump it forward a tiny bit there. Engage the starter. Clear left, clear right. This guy needs to get out of the way. I mean, it's not really going to render any sort of a collision or error, fortunately. Alright, clear! Alright, engine is running. Oil pressure is immediately up into the green. Temperature is beginning to rise slowly. RPMs are stable. Strawberry Jam, how's it going? Welcome. Maria, you're out. Alright, let's turn the avionics on. Strobe lights, nav lights, those would actually be on before we start the engine. Like I said, it's been a while, so I'm doing things a tiny bit out of order. But it's not too bad. Alright. Let me zoom in on the map here. So this is the old Flight Sim, the Flight Sim 20, not 24. I think we're going to taxi out for a westbound departure, so that means we'll turn out of here and go this way and take off that way. Let's get the autopilot stuff set up. We'll do that down here. Down here. It's been a little while, so do bear with me. Speed is set to 110. Altitude, whoop, that's a little too much. We're cruising at 11,000 feet. That is set. CDI is on GPS. So what we'll do is set the heading bug to start about that direction. We'll check it once we get out on the runway. Confirm that lines up, and then we'll just turn nav on once we go. Alright, gonna release the parking brake. Gotta make sure I have the right key to do that. Oh, we're pushing back. No, let me up. Alright, yeah, he, for whatever reason, was hooked up. So yeah, it's that key there. Alright, parking brake is released. Oh. Stuttered a little bit. Don't mind that. Say, objects like vehicles and people and stuff don't render collisions. Obviously, they would clear the area before we actually start moving out here. We're just gonna go right up ahead and follow this, yeah, there's lights in the middle of the taxiway. Typical. Looks like the vehicle traffic is actually pretty calm here. And we're gonna come down just to the end here. Man, I wish the clouds would go away because the scenery around here is absolutely beautiful. But if it's cloudy, we're probably not going to get a great view of it. But we'll see. That it does look like the weather gets a lot better as we go south, down toward Anderson. Alright, hit our brakes here. Come up, and there's the hold bar. That's where we got to stop right here. Alright. Set the parking brake quick. We already checked the flight controls. We know they're good. We'll set the flaps to half. So let's do that quick. And then we're just going to do our run-up. So we're going to go power up to 1700 RPMs. It's going to be about 25% power. Up a little bit. A little more. Touch more, come on. Stabilize right about there, that's good. Alright, engine instruments are all in the green. We don't have any warnings or errors other than just a caution indicator that the parking brake is set. Flaps are down. Alright, we're going to do a quick mag check, so we're going to turn this to the right mag. We have a drop of about 50, that's good. Back to both. That goes back up. You're going to check the left mag. Drop of about 50 again. Back to both. Good to go idle power. Make sure it idles properly. And yeah, that's pretty good. Alright. Let's go ahead and taxi out. Let's make sure it's clear. Get out that way. Get out that way. Parking brake release. Let's taxi out onto the runway. Alright, we're lined up, power idle. Just going to take the brake off real quick. Don't even need to set the parking brake for this. We're just going to do heading, select, on, and we'll turn nav on once we get going. FLC is on and set to 110. Altitude. Turn the VNav on there. Alright. Full power. Engine instruments are good. Airspeed has come alive. Gonna rotate at 77 knots. There's 50. 60. 70. 77. Up! Come on! Oh, yeah, a little slow coming up off the ground, but that's alright there. We're gonna leave our power in. Autopilot is on. Bring the flaps up. And let's go ahead and zoom out on the map a little bit. You can see our route. We'll begin to turn at 800 feet above the ground. That's going to be right about 1900. Yeah. Alright, we're good. So I'm going to spin the heading selector this way to start the left turn. And then we'll go ahead and turn nav on. And that'll just help us intercept the GPS course. Just 1 second here. Alright, we're climbing pretty good. Let's grab a quick look outside. So the clouds are thinning out, which is good, and we can see some of the mountains back here. This all right here is like Pigeon Forge, and more over here is Gatlinburg, Tennessee. By the way, you coaster people that are watching, if you know of Dollywood, that's right in this area. We're going to see if we can point it out. It may be a little bit tough to see. But I know it's in this general area I'm looking for, and I'll point it out. That's a water park right there, I'm pretty sure. I'm looking for it. I'm not seeing it at the moment. Oh, that's it right there. We're flying directly over it. Oh, that's pretty cool. That's it right there. We're going straight over Dollywood. Yeah, Maria, drop us at the park. Yeah. Oh, yes. Alright, here we go. This is what I was hoping for. So the sky does get a little more clear out this way. We're going to get some gorgeous views of some of these mountains. Nearby, we're going to get a good glimpse of Klingman's Dome, which is one of the highest mountains in the eastern U.S. It's actually the second highest, just below Mount Mitchell, which is in... well, it's in North Carolina. Clingman's Dome is right on the Tennessee-North Carolina border. But that's going to be way further out that direction there. Whereas Clingman's Dome, we'll find it on the map. It actually should be pretty close. Alright, let's go back into the cockpit. We actually don't have too much more to climb. So what I'm going to do is actually just set up for cruise climb, and then the power setting will be the same for cruise. Let's turn the pitot heat on. It is 3 Celsius here now. Alright. So I'm going to pull the power down to about 85%. Or no. Nope. 30.5 on the manifold pressure. Usually gets set about... that's good there. Now I'm going to back the mixture right down until we get to about 20 gallons per hour. That's going to be peak power. Yep, right about there, about 89% power when we lean that out for cruise climb. This should have intercepted the GPS track. I'm not sure. I turned it on, probably because heading was still on and the nav track didn't override it, but that's fine. So we can actually turn that off, and it'll take us on to the GPS track now. 0 Celsius here at 10,000 feet. We're only cruising at 11,000 because it's a pretty short flight, and it'll also, being a little bit lower, will give us a better view of the scenery. And it is quite spectacular up through here. I've actually, I've driven up from western North Carolina up over the pass. Kind of, this is all like the Smoky Mountains. I've been up to Clingman's Dome. I've been into Gatlinburg. Man, it sure turned us steep to get that GPS track. Ideally, what we would do is fly about 30 degrees off and just intercept, but the nav system just decided to curve us all the way around to intercept it, so whatever. Alright, we are at 11,000. We're at our cruise altitude. It is -2 Celsius up here at altitude. And yeah, look at the view. It's beautiful. This really is a pretty area. Looks like a couple little rain showers there, or just some kind of leftover fog or mist. We're gonna be going through some clouds. We will have to pay attention and be careful to avoid icing in these conditions. Man, I really need to get back into flight sim more. I definitely want to try to make flight sim a little bit more of a regular thing. Most of what I do is the Planet Coaster. But before I got into Planet Coaster, I mean, those of you that have been around long with me, that's just about all I did, was flight sim. Alright, yeah, we're getting ready to go through some moisture, so what we're going to do is do airframe de-ice on. And we're going to turn it to high, just because I think this is an area that we're quite susceptible to get a fair bit of icing. About a quick look outside. We're not flying through the moisture. Oh, wow. Take a look at that. That's beautiful. Man. I miss going up here. Going through all of that. I just absolutely loved the views, driving through the mountains and everything. Just really pretty. These are all the Blue Ridge Mountains and the Great Smokies, actually. Out that way, well, you get a little bit of a view there for a moment. And it looks like a couple small lakes, a chain of lakes maybe. And then, unfortunately, directly ahead, you can't see much of anything. Let's go back into the cockpit. We may actually have to back off on that. No, it's stable at that. So, VNO, where the green turns to yellow, is about 176. We really don't want to go above that. So, where we're at right now, we're fine. Alright, our route today takes us up here from Gatlinburg, where we took off. This is Knoxville, Tennessee. And up this way, somewhere. I have to go a little bit further. Oh, come on. Is it further up here? This could be. No. I was gonna say, like Bristol, Tennessee and stuff like that would be... Oh, that's up here. Okay, I was going the wrong way. So, yeah, this is far east Tennessee up here. These are the North Carolina mountains. This is Asheville. Charlotte is out this direction. There it is right there. And then over here is Greenville and Spartanburg, South Carolina, and we're going to the west and a little bit south of that. This is Clemson right here, Clemson University, Seneca, and Anderson is right down here, and this is Lake Hartwell. So we're going to pass right over all of these mountains, and then the terrain is going to drop off into the foothills of upstate South Carolina, and we're going to be going over and around a bunch of lakes. So this should actually be a relatively scenic flight. We're actually not doing bad with icing. But when we go through that right there, we might get a bit. So we'll have to see. Figured I would do a stream in Flight Sim since I have a little time. Unfortunately, I have to work tonight, so I will not be on this evening. No Planet Coaster for me. Which is a bummer, because the last 2 nights I've had so much fun. But it is what it is. We'll pick it up tomorrow, and I actually have something really cool planned, so stay tuned. I might do a short video, but it's more likely just to be a post on the channel. But I've got something cool, well, I think, hopefully you all think, would be pretty cool, that I want to do something for tomorrow night. Something a little different than I've done in the past. Alright, if we look at the winds aloft, it's 30 degrees, and it's a direct, or I'm sorry, 30 knots, and it's a direct crosswind. So we're actually, right now, we're getting a 1 knot tailwind component. So we're right at. And that's also why our angle, our heading, I should say, is 169, but the GPS track is 160. So we're offset 9 degrees to compensate for the wind pushing us to the left. And we're in the thick of these clouds. Come on. Hopefully not too much longer. It's telling us exit icing. That's just, it runs after about 5 minutes. So we can actually turn that back off and turn it right back on, and it just resets the warning. Still no icing. And that's a good thing. We've got a lot of clouds up here. Man. I get a little bit of a view of the ground down below. Alright, we're about to fly right over the Jackson County Airport in North Carolina. This is the town of Silva right here. Right about there, if we look outside, we might get a little glimpse of it. Yeah, kind of. Not a great view of it, but... Oh, well, that's a bit better right there. Yeah, this is Silva, North Carolina. Up that way you really can't see it, but that direction over there is Bryson City. And then there's the town of Franklin, which will be up here. Hopefully that clears out. We'll be able to see it. And then Asheville is going to be probably about 20 miles off our left wing, but of course, with the clouds, you unfortunately really can't see that. Weather's turning worse. It's not bad down in South Carolina, but it is getting a little bit worse. We're actually going through some rain. So I am definitely paying a bit of attention to see if we start picking up any icing conditions. Hopefully not. Man, this is a bit disappointing. These clouds were supposed to clear up. I might do another... well, okay, we get a little bit of a glimpse of clear skies. Not clear, but a little bit of a break in the clouds. You can see the ground. But we're missing out on a lot of the... Oh, well, here we go. Okay, that's a bit better. Good glimpse of the mountains over here. Yay! Alright, that's a lot better. That's what I was hoping for. Just a brief interruption by the clouds. Mother Nature strikes again. Yeah, okay, so right over out that direction is Asheville. This right here, I'm pretty sure, is the Blue Ridge Parkway. Runs all the way from Virginia, pretty far up, down through North Carolina, and it actually ends roughly where we were. Maybe runs a little bit past. Out toward the town of Cherokee. And then right up over here, where the terrain starts to drop off, you're basically passing into South Carolina. Alright, let's go back into the cockpit here and take a quick look. Yeah, only about 13 minutes to go. Let's actually pick up the weather at Anderson. Alright, 200 at 9, visibility is 10 miles, few clouds at 3600, scattered at 6500. Temperature is 25 Celsius to 77 Fahrenheit, and the altimeter is 2982. We're right at the halfway point right now. Equal distance from those two airports. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this down to 2982. Oops, there we go. And I'm going to look and see what approach options we have at Anderson. ILS 5, RNAV 2-3 is the one that we'll probably take. Looks like that's the most suitable for the weather. And I believe the runways are relatively similar. Yeah, they are. They're pretty similar length. Actually, if we go 1-7, we'd get a straighter approach. They're both RNAV. So I think what we'll do... Oh, I didn't want to do that there. That's the one I wanted. They have LNAV, VNAV, which is fine. And with the weather, I mean, we should be able to go visual. So I think we're going to take runway 17. Oh, and you know what? Actually, we'll go back. Let's reset that. We're going to choose the visual approach, actually. Visual 1.7. And we're going to set the straight out VIX. Ah. Alright, load. And go to flight plan there. Scroll. Oh, come on. Wow. I shouldn't be changing that there. Alright, it's easier to do it from this one here. We're going to set that right there and activate. And it's going to tell us to top of descent in just a couple minutes here. Alright, fuel imbalance, so we actually do need to switch that. We can turn that off. Switch the tank. That occasionally happens. Especially when you have a short climb. Clear out of that there. I'm gonna lower this down to about 4,000. Oops. Being a little jumpy there. Let me make sure VNav is on. Vertical speed we don't need to worry about. It should start us downward any moment now, and we are in South Carolina. Just look at that, kind of how the mountains taper off into the foothills. Alright, we can turn the icing off. It's clear up ahead. Fuel imbalance should clear in just a moment. Well, it did not start us downward. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to actually turn on vertical speed, and we're going to set a descent rate for about 1,200 feet per minute. We're going to pull back on the power down about 30%. That's pretty out that way. That's real pretty, kind of looking right there at the mountains and everything. I'm going to zoom in a little on the map here. We're going to get a good view of Clemson here in just a moment. In fact, we can actually take a look out. I don't think that's it right there. I think it's a little bit further up ahead, but we'll get a good view of the college and the stadium. Alright, and it is above freezing. It's 2 Celsius here, just over 9,000 feet. Alright, we're going to enrich in the mixture just a little bit. We want to bring that up into the green. So right at the bottom of the green is about 10. Alright, so Clemson Airport is... I'm looking for it. Right there. So that means the college and the stadium are going to be right about over here. So we're actually going to go pretty much directly over it. That'll be a cool view. And as we get set up on our final into Anderson. Still get a little glimpse of the mountains out that way. That is pretty. Now it's picking up the vertical path, which is good. So as we're slowing down, I'm actually going to bump the power up a little bit, just to kind of maintain that speed. There we go. Quick look outside. There's the airport right there, so the university is right here, and yeah, you can see the stadium. It'll load better once we get a little closer. And look at the lakes. There's a bridge. It's almost like a reservoir. Oh, look at that. Yeah, that's cool. Love to take a boat out here. Up in some of these lakes in the foothills in upstate South Carolina. That would be so much fun. And if you look behind us, you get this beautiful view. The mountains. And out that way too. That is absolutely gorgeous. Out that way is more like Greenville and Spartanburg, and then eventually if you were to continue on, you'd make it to Charlotte. Pretty view there. And as we get closer, I'm not sure it's going to be modeled 100%, but this is the wait a second, that's not right. Well, that's the stadium. It isn't rendered at all, actually. I don't know what that there is exactly. But this is the Clemson football stadium right there. And of course, this is the college campus. And then Clemson's an actual town. Anderson is the bigger of them, I think. Kind of heading it that way. Alright. Grab a quick view. That is pretty. Alright, back into the cockpit here. Now we can keep going down to 3,000, so let me go ahead and set that. Let me look real quick on the map. Airport elevation, 782 feet. So we realistically now can descend to 2,000, so I'll actually just go ahead and set that. And we'll be at 1,300, or 1,200 really, above airport elevation once we get set up to turn on to final approach. That back there is Lake Hartwell. Pretty sure. Well, I look on the map right. Yeah, that is. Or Hartwell Lake, I guess we'd call it. But either way. See, it's just after 2, quarter after 2. I might have time for one more flight. We'll see. I might want to go do one up in Alaska. I'm not sure though. That's the airport right there. And the city of Anderson right out over that way. And the lake. It's pretty heavily forested up here. And if we just get one more quick view out of the cockpit, back behind us here. And we're descending more, but you can kind of still see the mountains. I was going to say, we're descending and we're getting further away, so it makes it harder to see. But you can definitely still see some traces of the mountains in the back. There's the airport. Little breezy up here, not too bad. This should turn us on path, and then we can actually disconnect the autopilot and land. Autopilot off. Let's take the power out. We got to get below 150 before we can go half flaps, and then we need to get to 110 before we do full flaps. So we're going to level up here. Alright. Below 150 we can go half. And we're getting bumped around a fair bit by the wind here. That's correct. Add the power back in now just a little bit. Quartering. A right quartering headwind. Alright, we get below 110, we can go full flaps. So we want to get below that, put the flaps in, and then add the power back. It gives us a little bit more controllability. There we go. I don't know if this is trimmed out super well. Add some power in, just need to check a couple things. Mixture goes full rich. Boost pump. Oh, that's prime. Whoops. And landing light. Pitot heat can come off. It's 21 Celsius here. Let's get back on course. We're still getting pushed to the left a bit, so we actually need to fly kind of this direction. We're not lined up. That's a bit better. We're flying the correct approach path. The VNAV guidance on our GPS is telling us we're right on the right path. We need to add a little speed. I want to stay at about 80 knots. Come on. The beacon is on. The airport's not IFR. I don't understand that. Unless the weather switched suddenly. Come on. We're definitely getting bumped around a good bit. This wind is actually more of a crosswind now. Come on. So it might have actually been better to go for 2-3. But we're okay. Alright, we're a bit high. Let's take some power out. We were getting fast there. Some small corrections just to maintain a relatively stable approach. Add the power back and we're a touch slow. Come on. What's going on? Is this not trimmed or something here? Take the power out. We're right over the runway. It does kind of calm down just a little bit there. Flare. Oh, that was a little bit of a rough landing. I couldn't get the flare pitch the way that I wanted to. So, that might have been a trim matter. We kind of flew it like three-pointed. No, not a great landing. Not horrible, not great. That's alright. Alright, let's go ahead and turn off here. And we've got all the hangars right up here. Alright, so it's just going to be a really easy taxi in a right turn. And yeah, a bit of vehicle activity. Looks like a rain shower out over that direction there. Alright, let's swing in right up here. Swing around, I see the... Now we've got a couple racing, got a forklift that's actually moving pretty fast. Alright, it's turning us. Alright, there we go. Alright, parking brake is set. Let's go ahead and shut the airplane down. Landing light off. Boost pump off. Okay, flaps are up. We'll go ahead and start turning the avionics off and the alternators. Now we can cut the mixture. And a 33-minute flight, so yeah, I said 31:32, and just a touch more. Alright, let's clear those. Engine is stopped. So we can actually turn the lights off now. Turn the magnetos off. And battery switches, that's it. Now here we are on the ground. Folks, welcome to Anderson, South Carolina. Hope you enjoyed the flight. I'm going to end the stream. I might do another one here in a little bit, but I'm not certain about that. But I hope you enjoyed it. Look forward to seeing you all back soon. And as always, until next time, folks, take care, stay safe, we'll see ya.